Everything is different. Everything is weird. But let's give you a small sense of normalcy in your life. It is race season time. Welcome to your annual RacerX Monster Energy preview shows for Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship. And we'll give you the full menu of things that make life feel normal right after New Year's. And that is, we got a stacked field. We haven't seen this kind of parity in 25 years. Anybody can win races and the title this year. Those are the things that pump people up. Although we have realized when you flip the calendar from 2020 to 2021, it didn't magically make all the weirdness we've experienced over the last couple of months go away. But we will try to escape as best we can in our preview show and in our own little racing bubble to talk about the good news that Supercross is back. I am Jason Weigandt. Spent 20 years covering these races. I'm the editorial director for RacerX. Steve Matthes, longtime factory mechanic and now internet rabble-rouser.
Sure.
Yep. And Jason Thomas, 16 years as a professional racer and now working with Fly Racing and WPS. So we're in the trenches all the time. Today's trench is your beautiful palatial estate here, the Pulpamex Studios. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we filmed these in North Carolina at one time in a guy's basement.
Mm-hmm.
We have filmed them back in Morgantown, West Virginia at the RacerX offices.
Mm-hmm.
We filmed them at Monster Energy Pro Circuit headquarters last couple of years.
Yep.
Well, we're switching it up this year. Here we are in the Pulpamex Studios.
Yes, and you do a lot here. I know you got some dumb fantasy league also, so I might as well just mention that. Just rip the tear off and get it out of the way.
If you want to make Supercross more fun, if that's possible,
it is good.
PulpamexFantasy.com, weekly prizes, yearly prizes. We're giving away some motorcycles, JT.
We
It
are.
is a fun way to enjoy Saturday night.
Yeah, it's awesome. And the best part, I think, of all of it is you don't have to win. You could just play, sign up, pay your money, and join, and you have a chance to win both a Yamaha TTR 110 and is it a 450 or 250?
450.
In a raffle. So
Yeah.
you don't have to be a motocross expert. You could just be a fan, come play with us, and you have a chance to win 2 motorcycles.
If you want to live on the edge, join Pulpamex Fantasy.
Whatever. Who cares? Let's get to
Okay.
the actual reality of racing. Thanks to Monster Energy, always our title sponsor for the shows. New Ray gave us a great selection of toys to decorate our desk, Matthes tires, and of course Fly Racing and WPS, gear sponsor of the Monster Energy Supercross Championship, on board with our shows. And look, I want to get right into the riders.
Yeah.
I want to talk Eli Tomac and Ken Roczen and Cooper Webb and everybody else.
Hold on. Before
What?
we get into the riders.
We
right
can't.
away.
We can't.
No,
Exactly.
We got to talk about this format.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, we got to talk about this format first.
It's too weird to not acknowwge that this is weird.
We're
No,
not
it's
going
great.
to Anaheim.
It's great.
Thank you.
We're not
Yes.
going to Anaheim for
Yes.
the first time since 1996. The series
Orlando.
will not open in Anaheim,
In,
California.
California.
In California.
Yeah.
Things are strange for sure. 3 races in a week at many of these venues. We're going to Atlanta Motor Speedway, which is a NASCAR track. We're going inside of there. And basically, JT, East, West, none of that matters. This is an East Coast Supercross series. We were talking to Cooper Webb about that. And the dirt and all the things that we talk about when it comes to the East Coast for these riders, that's 17 rounds. That will be interesting.
It certainly will have more of an East Coast feel. I would argue that some of the Houston rounds, certainly the Arlington round, Salt Lake for the finale, you're going to have some West Coast vibes in there too. The Arlington dirt is very, very West Coast. Hard pack, no ruts. So yes, while I would agree with your basic premise, I don't think it's going to be all that. You're going to get a little bit of a mixture too to make it a little bit more diverse series.
Weege, I wonder, and I'm taking your hosting job away here, but I wonder, you tell me.
It's your house.
We saw universal sort of acceptance of the Salt Lake City format, 7 races in a month or so. We're going 3 at a time in a week, a midweek Tuesday race and a Saturday. Are we going to – how's this going to go over? Is this going to go over okay? Or if you twist an ankle on a Saturday and you can't ride Tuesday, but you can ride the next Saturday, which in a normal series you would not miss a race, this year you would. Is that going to affect things?
Yeah, everything could not have gone better in Salt Lake. I think there was obviously – I don't know if it's going to be good, but this is what we got to do to finish the 2020 series. I think everyone came in just accepting it and then found out when they did it, they actually liked it, which I don't know if they expected that, but universal. Not just acceptance, but they loved it. I think this scenario is a little bit different. I think the riders love the idea of riding during the week, and I think they love having races packed in because this is a rare motorsport where they can ride on a Tuesday at home anyway, so why not just use it as a race, get paid, and be done? But there's 2 issues. Yes, now you have to do 17 races without that nagging injury. For whatever reason, we got lucky in Salt Lake and not anyone really got beat up. But also, there is a huge difference, and JT, you know, between the end of the season when everybody's bikes are dialed. Yeah, you can go to your Airbnb and just wait for the next round. But how many times have guys had their bikes way off at round 1? They need the comfort of the test track in California, and they are stuck in Houston.
Well, certainly Eli Tomac was a great example of that last year. So there will be more of an emphasis put on we have to get it right early because you could be 3 rounds down before you got anything sorted out. But to your larger point about how riders are going to enjoy this, there are 2 big things that riders dislike about a season. That is, 1, mid-season training, getting up, waking up, going to the track, and just hammering out motos all week. That's not a lot of fun. And then also the travel. So if you're able to minimize both of those, you're able to get 3 rounds in versus 1 with the same amount of travel. You get to reduce all of that grinding, as we say, during the week. That's a huge win for the teams and riders. So I think this, and I hope this will become a mainstay.
Yeah, I think it's going to be hard to put away and go back to Saturday-only races in the future if we're allowed to do that. So
yeah, I think it goes without saying that in these COVID-19 times we live in, and if you look at any sort of mainstream sport, from the hockey to the basketball to the baseball guys, football that just finished, the COVID-19 factor is real. It's there. There'll be extensive testing by the folks at Feld before you enter a venue, and then every week you will need to get tested. So in between Houston, the first 3 rounds, you'll be tested twice.
Yeah.
Whatever you side that you sit on this COVID-19 thing, regardless of that, if you're tested positive, you're going to miss some races, and it would be foolish to think that this won't affect a main event rider at some point. The COVID-19 positive test. I think at some point, whether it's a 5th place guy, 1st place guy, or 10th place guy, I believe it'll affect them.
Yeah, and from watching the other sports that we've seen, they have the contact tracing. There are so many variables now to travel that it almost is impossible that we won't see someone have some sort of issue. I think it was a small miracle that we were able to get through 7 rounds of the 2020 season without someone missing it. And we heard rumors that a couple guys, someone did test positive. We never did hear exactly who it was, but none of the stars of the sport were hampered by COVID-19 during last season. It's going to be very difficult, I think, to cross 6 or 7 different cities across 4 or 5 months without someone having an issue.
Yeah, and that's just going to be reality. And again, check other sports. Jimmy Johnson in his last NASCAR year, he was asymptomatic. He tested positive. He was forced to miss a race. He missed the playoffs in NASCAR in his final season. That's just the way it is. So there are still side effects. Just because we flip the calendar to 2021 doesn't mean that they go away. So let's focus on the actual racers. We will cover 3 here in episode 1, Eli Tomac, Cooper Webb, and Ken Roczen. Don't get mad at us in the YouTube comments because we didn't mention Adam Cincerulo or Malcolm Stewart. That's coming. There are 5 separate episodes. I'm going to skip right past why we picked these 3 because to me it's pretty obvious they combined to win 15 of the 17 races last year, and they were the top 3 in points. That's Tomac, Webb, and Roczen. Let's start with Tomac. It finally happened. We did it. We've been guessing Eli Tomac would win the Supercross title year after year after year, and we were psychotic enough to go for it again, and it finally worked in 2020. He is the Supercross champion.
I had gotten it right several years in a row. I'd gone with Dungey. I'd gone with Villapoto. I felt vindicated, but the last couple of years I had gone all in on Eli Tomac, and he had proven us wrong. Steve Matthes, you have gone Eli Tomac several years.
As a matter of fact,
let's proven you wrong.
Let's show some clips. Let's show some clips of both 2019's preview and also the preview for 2020.
He's the fastest guy. This is the year he puts it together. He's got the bike. He's got the package. I mean, absolutely. For me, I just think it's going to be Tomac's year. I mean, I love going to monster parties, and I want to just... Eli Tomac is my monster.
Oh, crushing it on Eli Tomac.
Listen, Eli, please, for the love of God, please get this done. Please. We all know you're the fastest guy. We all know you got a great team. You're gnarly. You're a bad dude. Please, just get it done.
So you look bad one year, but we were all right last year. And I don't even know if we can figure out why it changed. What's different? Why now?
Yeah, he never had that one poor race that it cost him in the previous years.
Yep.
We were waiting for it, or wondering if it was going to happen to him again, and it never did.
And we put him on ice for 2 months.
We put him on ice.
No racing.
Although I feel like that helped him more than anything.
Think?
I do. The altitude of Salt Lake City.
Oh, okay.
I think he came in and just felt, just this is my soil and this is my altitude, and watch this. And Eli Tomac did a great job. But he just kept rolling along and slowly, never panicked. Got into it with Justin Barcia. That was good for some good times.
Yeah.
But never let it really get to Eli Tomac, and deservedly so. He was the 2020 champion, and he deserves it.
He did have a few challenging rounds.
Yeah.
Anaheim won. I think all of us left going, that wasn't great. He's really going to have to change that as well as Ken Roczen too. But he didn't have that catastrophic round where you go back to the 2018 season and it was catastrophic round after another. He leaves with a shoulder injury. There was just so many bad things happening early in the season, and he was able to rebound and kind of just negate all of the negativity. Even after a horrible round, he comes out and bounces back quickly. So I think maybe he learned his lesson, right? Even if you get 7th one round, it's okay.
The 7th's fine. It's
Don't get
the 15th. Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That was the big difference for 2020.
It's easy to forget because of the way he really dominated Salt Lake City, him and Cooper Webb rising to the occasion. It's easy to forget that at Daytona, Kenny Roczen had the points lead.
Yep.
And then Eli caught him.
Took it that night, but it was only by that much.
Yeah. And so it was neck and neck, and here we go. And then the world got put on pause. And then when we come back to me, I think to all of us here, Eli Tomac was the best guy on his Monster Energy Cowie through those 7 rounds. You got to remember the points gap was closer than it looked like because Eli at the last round, just kind of did what he had to do.
He didn't have to win where Webb was in must-win mode.
But he deserves it. Full props. He has been the fastest guy for 4 years?
17, 18, 19, 20. I think you could argue.
Yeah. Yep. So, he deserves it. And I was losing my mind with him not losing it or not winning it.
Yes,
and
I know.
Finally, he did it, and congratulations.
Okay, so where do we go from here? There are 2 paths. You can say the pressure's now off because the pressure of finally getting this was really building, and now that's gone. He's proven he can do it. Or, look, we've seen when a rider is at the tip of the spear, the pressure, the work that comes with that, well, he might not have 4 or 5 Supercross titles, but he did all the work. He had all the pressure. He just doesn't have the trophies. So how long does his window stay open? Because we're now saying Eli Tomac is going into the 5th year of being the fastest Supercross rider.
Yep.
There's not a very big track record for someone being able to do that.
I think this summer is going to be as much of a struggle as it was. Lucas Oil Pro Motocross, he was the 3-time defending champion. It didn't work out this year.
Yep.
He didn't look like the same guy. You could tell that he had some sort of Supercross hangover. Usually we see if a guy had a bad Supercross season, you see the hangover. It's just not there for him all summer. It was almost the opposite of that, where he got that title off his chest and there was this big exhale. Yeah. And he just didn't come in with that fire that we've seen every single summer for the past 3 years. I think the frustration and the difficulties, he's not used to getting 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th place at a Lucas Oil Pro Motocross race. I think that is going to drive him to be remotivated again for the 2021 Supercross season. I think losing weekend after weekend after weekend will recharge the batteries a bit and have him ready to come out firing again here in a couple weeks.
I mean, let's just get to the bottom of this. He's my pick to defend the championship.
He is going to be my pick as well, but I do believe that he is going to have his hands full with our next rider that maybe we're going to be discussing, Cooper Webb.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Your favorite?
Huh?
Your favorite?
Well, we'll discuss our next rider here.
Okay.
Perfect transition. New Ray Toys. You can get this. A Cooper Webb, Red Bull KTM rig also. We got Ken Roczen and Eli Tomac toys. So you're talking to the top 3 riders in Supercross last year. Line your shelves. Let your kids play with them. Hopefully not break them. Thanks to New Ray. Also, Matthes Fly Racing, our title sponsor, Monster Energy. So Cooper Webb. I don't know exactly where we are here. Like, he won the title in 2019. That was spectacular. It was an amazing renaissance career comeback, whatever you want to call it, after struggling the first years in a 450 class. It just didn't start well last year, and he's not said that he was complacent or he didn't have the hunger.
But he kind of did.
You feel like he did?
3rd place with this brutal sickness that he was dealing with at the first round. He finds a way to get on the podium. And I remember leaving there going, that guy's that sick. We all saw him. You hear him talking. He can barely get out there, and he's able to find a way to get on the podium.
And Tomac and Roczen struggled at the
Correct. I went there leaving, that's going to be your champion again. So I kind of argue. I struggle with it didn't get off to a great start. Things didn't go all the way through the season that way, but I left Anaheim 1 going, he's going to win it again.
I definitely felt that way after Anaheim 1, but it took week after week to finally see the real Cooper Webb. And then we really did see it when his back was up against the wall. He really rallied late. Really good at Salt Lake, and even after the big crash at Dallas that really ended it, he was still grinding out podiums. So I feel like Cooper Webb's in a better position when he's the underdog, when his back is against the wall, when he's not expected to win, or when he's not the points leader. That's more the scenario he has coming into 2021. I like this position for Webb.
Yeah, it's funny when you talk to us experts, air quotes, that follow the series. There are some huge Cooper Webb fans with the industry guys that are like, he is the guy that's going to win. He's got Tomac's number. He's like,
You've heard this.
Oh yeah. There are some people that are like all on the Webb train, and I understand that he's a past champion. You know, he's a great racer. I'm not there yet. Like, to me, Eli Tomac is the superior racer to Cooper Webb. If nothing goes wrong, but Coop's great. He's going to challenge for wins, and he'll be on a ton of podiums and everything else. But it's funny to me. You're either all on the Cooper Webb and you're going all the way, or you're not. It's funny to me to gauge some of the people talking about Cooper Webb, because there are some massive Cooper Webb fanboys in the industry among people that I'm like, wow, really? Like, he's good. Don't get me wrong, but like, you have him
like
easily
stamp it, dominate.
Yeah, like stamp it, like he's going to beat Eli Tomac, and I'm like, hold on.
See, to me, they are very different racers altogether. Cooper Webb is a get the start. Manage in his 450 career, get the start, manage the race from the front, always put yourself in good position to be there at the end. And if you have to outfox someone at the end, he has proven time and time again that he is very, very good at outthinking anyone on the last lap. Eli Tomac, on the other hand, to me, seems like just a relentless competitor. No matter what place he's in, you can just count. He's coming, right? He's like Cujo. Yeah. He's just coming and coming and coming towards the end of the race. He usually has the most speed of anyone on the track. The starts have always been, well, not always, but have been a problem at times and put him in bad position, but he's coming to the front. So to me, I don't look at one or the other being dominant. Their strategy and the way they execute a race when they win, to me, is very, very different.
Yeah, I think if you're a Webb guy, you're also like, hey, he's in Tomac's head. He can race with Tomac, and Tomac mentally.
Do
you think Tomac?
Yeah. No, I'm not. It's not me.
No,
it's
not you, but
you've
heard this.
But do you think that Tomac fears Webb in that way? Because I personally don't.
No, I don't think Eli Tomac fears anybody. I really don't. I think Eli Tomac can get wrapped up in the course of a race into something that he doesn't need to belong to, whether it's with Barsha, whether it's with Anderson or whoever. Like,
he's just had his own weird races.
Yeah. I feel like Tomac needs to do a better job of separating himself and being like, I can't mess with. I gotta go.
Yeah.
But a lot of that is starts, dude. You get dragged into that.
Yeah.
Here's the difference to me between the two guys. Webb is just the master at executing. He is those 20 minutes in that main event, you're going to see his best.
He's a gamer. He is a gamer.
And if Tomac could do that same thing every time, I think it's lights out. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
But Tomac always leaves that window of you're not going to get his best every minute of every main. And that allows Webb, who might not be quite as fast, to get there.
I'll give you a very
a real coin flip
very
between them.
dated baseball reference. You have Tom Glavine.
Oh, my gosh.
The perfect. He just executes the plan, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't have the fastball. He doesn't have anything that's going to blow you away.
Yeah.
But good luck being consistent against Tom Glavine. And then you have Roger Clemens, who's going to come in, not always the prettiest, but he's just going to blow you away with the stuff he has to offer, right? To me, they're very different approaches, both highly proficient, and they both can be successful, but they go about it in very different ways.
Now, we always try to give you the real analysis on these shows, and we've done it. We've got a real Cooper Webb insider here. He was just in his wedding. He knows Coop very well, maybe even better than Coop knows himself. None other than the 2019 450 Supercross champion of Canada, Phil Nicoletti. Phil, give us your hot take on Coop for 2021, bro.
I wasn't actually in the wedding. I just had to organize everything outside the wedding, which the best man could not do. So, but anyway, for 2021, I think Coop's going to be on a roll. Had a lot of off time, missed the Nationals. Fixed a lot of stuff last year in Supercross. Obviously, the beginning was a bit of a struggle, but something clicked in San Diego. Massive whoops, and Coop was blitzing the shit out of him. So, I think they're going to take that knowledge that they use wherever they got it from. I don't know which part of the KTM, Gas, Husky team, whatever, where that inside info came from. Use that into 2021, and I think if Coop can find 0.2% in the whoops, it's game over. Not necessarily game over, but I think it'd be a lot harder on Kenny and Eli to win as many races. So at the end of the year, I can kind of see Coop getting it done.
You have any worries? Coop is now married, as you know. Yes, you were not in the wedding. You were at the wedding. He's had success now. Is there any worry about he's over it, he's made enough money, and he doesn't have that fire that he had in 2019?
No, because when the gate drops, the bullshit stops. So Coop's a gamer, always has been. I just think he can block anything else out, and it's game on. I just think he's in a lot better place right now. Weddings all done. COVID stuff is kind of over with. I know it was a lot of stress. But yeah, I think 21 will be dialed.
All right, well, it's awesome to have Phil Nicoletti, Supercross champion.
He's a Supercross champion.
And a specialist, really, in Supercross.
Yes, and so for us, we're lucky to have that kind of knowledge, JT.
He is. So with him being a Canadian Supercross champion, I was a German Supercross. Do I get the same accolades as
No,
this?
we don't seem to consider you any higher than me. I didn't even race Supercross.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're more like a flagger.
I actually, I personally agree. I agree with that take.
Right.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
We have one more rider to talk about here. It is Ken Roczen, and this is an annual thing, not only doing the show and having Monster Energy as our sponsor and getting ready for the season, but it is also the Ken Roczen Health Watch. It's also an annual occurrence every year. Is it the year that he gets back to where he looked like he was going to be in 2017 before these big injuries? It feels like so long ago because COVID was such a wacky year. But he was better in 2020 than he was in the previous years. He started winning races again, and like you said, halfway through the year at Daytona, it was absolutely neck and neck between he and Tomac. So does he take another step this year? Where are we at on Ken Roczen?
You're right. Well, first of all, this show is a farce.
Yep.
This first show.
Oh, really?
The person who put the show together, I feel, left out a couple of guys that I want to talk to in show number 2 that should be in show number 1.
No, look, I have to have 5 shows. What do you want me to do?
I don't know.
I can't have every guy in one show.
I don't know, but you're missing two gentlemen who could win the championship.
YouTube comments,
in 2021.
they'll be up
Okay.
in the previous
I know,
or next
but
episodes.
they should be in this first show. Now, having said that,
15 out of 17 races last year are won by these 3 guys.
yes, it's going to change in 2021.
Oh.
Though. Yes.
Oh, I can't wait for this take.
Okay.
No, listen.
Hot,
We got a little
hot
taste of this
take.
on the
No,
Pulp MX
no,
show. We got a
listen,
little
I-
taste of this.
No one was happier for Ken Roczen to stand on top of a podium, or stand on top of the Supercross podium, I should say, for the first time in what, 500
17.
days?
No one was happier than you.
I don't know about no one.
No
but
one
you
was
were
happier
happy.
than you.
No
That-
one was
that's your
happier.
take?
No one.
Wow.
Than his family.
Okay.
Nope.
Fair
really?
enough.
Honda.
Yeah, no, I talked to Papa.
All
and-
right.
and-
You
and-
called Germany.
All
I
right.
called Germany, and I was happier than Papa. We just,
You pro and con it?
yeah, we
okay.
broke
All right.
it down.
All right.
No, listen, it's awesome. It's an incredible story, and he was right there to the end. But what happened to Kenny at the end of the series in Salt Lake City was what happened to him at the end of the Motocross series in 2019, and is what happened the Supercross series of 2019. Is the inability of Kenny to stay healthy and away from physical problems has haunted him in all 3 of the series that he has come back from his serious injury, arm injury, and he didn't even race last summer due to these physical issues. So for me to say Kenny is going to be the champion, I can't. That's a bridge too far for me, because I have 4 series that he's not been able to complete due to physical illnesses or things going on with him unrelated to. We never really got an answer.
Yeah.
But he went through serious trauma, a lot of issues with his arm, and so for me to sit here and be like, look, he's going to be a championship contender, I don't know. Like, I just, can he finish? Can he get a closer? Talking about baseball reference, can he get a closer in there? Because I haven't seen it yet. And
We are ready for another annual occurrence. JT and Matthes disagree.
will he-
Would
Go
you
ahead,
go so
JT.
far on your very Pulp MX show on Monday, January 4th? You said that Ken Roczen was not in the group of riders that were capable of winning this championship in 2021.
No.
You said he was not in that group.
Capable is different from not winning it. Yes, no, I do believe that Kenny, from what we've seen in 4 straight series, having a physical issue, I believe he cannot get through the 2021 series.
It was 5 riders, I believe you had in that.
4.
4 riders.
4 riders.
And you said it's not coming from Ken Roczen. Ken Roczen is not in that group. That you want to double down on that.
Yes, because for 4 series, we've seen Kenny not be physically able to get through them without issues. Now,
But keep in mind, just the last Supercross season we were in, he was, through 10 rounds, he was just as likely to win as Eli Tomac.
but there was 7 more. And,
Okay,
and,
well,
and he got
yeah,
and he faded.
This thing happened called coronavirus, and we lost months of
he
the
didn't
season.
get coronavirus.
I understand, but we lost that. We
Okay.
didn't get to continue on.
The
with the series we were
2019
having.
outdoor series, he looked great in some first motos. He would dominate the first motos, and then the second motos, he would fade to the back. He had an illness.
To me, there's a significant difference between Lucas Oil Pro Motocross and the demands put on your body throughout a summer where it's 100 degrees and 2 races versus a race where it's 60, 70 degrees, 20 minutes, one time.
The bottom line is, I don't have faith that Kenny Roczen won't run up against physical issues in the 2021 Supercross Series
Okay.
to finish this thing out. Will he win races? Yep.
Yep.
Will he get on the podium? Yep. But we have yet to see Kenny. Maybe I pushed him too hard on e-bikes that one day
Oh, is that what it was?
out in
Right.
Salt Lake
Okay.
City. And it maybe, if we don't e-bike, he can get through it.
To me, my only point here is to say that there are 4 riders that are capable of winning a championship, and that Ken Roczen doesn't belong in that group of 4. To me, that's crazy talk.
Because I don't feel he can stay healthy.
I understand.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
care what the scenario
Yeah.
is. To me, that's crazy talk.
Speed is there. The skill is there. The bike is there. Although, listen, as a former mechanic, I've been there with a brand new model. And this 2021 Honda is all new. And there, as we heard, the parts are rare.
Mm-hmm.
The development on it is going to be a bit behind. So there could be bike issues as well with Kenny. And we've seen Honda with the 2009 JT. You know about that bike. It took them a whole year.
If they have the 2009 rolling back out again, I'm in. I'm in with you removing him.
Sense of a brand new bike.
Yeah.
So
It's a bad year to have a brand new bike
don't-
just because you can't, again, test right after round 1.
I
I
know
can't
from,
wait for you to have a date with the YouTube comments about
I know
your
from being on a team
exclusion
that
of Ken Roczen.
it takes us a while to learn about a bike. It took Honda a long time to learn about a bike. Certainly,
But what if the bike's better?
it doesn't even matter if it's better. It's just learning about it,
That is not
knowing
true.
about it,
Saying
knowing about it.
saying that a better motorcycle is going to put you behind is
It won't
also
be better
crazy
until
talk.
they can get in between, in behind it, and figure it out, and figure out how it works in the corners, how it works under load, how it works with tension. All of these things that go into a bike that we know at the highest level affects these riders. Now, Honda could 100% just get this out of the gate and they'll be fine. So I'm not even including that, but there's that issue. There's a new bike issue.
All right,
So,
look, we've turned the page. It's a new year. You guys are arguing just like always.
Yeah.
It's comforting,
Right.
I think, for the world
We
and
need some
America.
familiarity. We need
Yes,
familiarity.
I think it's what America needs
we're
right now.
back
So
to
you guys
normal,
argue.
But I just
I just want you to name this before we sign off for this show. Who are the other 2? You said there's 4. We have obviously Webb and Tomac. We've already covered. Who are the other 2?
the 9 and the 16.
Okay,
There's your chance.
Cianciarulo and Osborne.
Weege,
Yeah,
you can understand where I'm coming from with this.
you're saying it's math. There
Thank
are
you.
17 rounds, and we have not seen that he can be physically 100% 17 times.
We have 4 series the last 2
Yes,
years.
and the math always shows that if you have 2 or 3 bad races, you could win the other 15. It doesn't even matter.
Yep.
So you're betting that we'll still see those few times where he's not feeling right.
I hope
which
I'm
we
wrong.
have seen.
I hope I'm wrong.
Yes.
But I don't know if I will be.
No one would be happier.
No one.
No
not
one
even
will be
Papa.
happier. Not even Papa. Okay. Thanks to Monster Energy, our title sponsor for the show. They're also, of course, the sponsor of the Monster Energy Kawasaki team. Now holding the #1 plate on Eli Tomac's KX450. New Raid Toys, who always provides us with cool stuff to buff out our studio here. Maxxis Tires and Fly Racing. And, I always do this Maxxis where the rubber meets the road.
Yeah.
I think it really comes down to it's Ken Roczen.
Yeah.
I don't feel like the window for, let's say, Cooper Webb is closing anytime soon. And Eli Tomac's finally done it. He's won the title. If Eli Tomac announced 2 days before Houston, I'm retiring, he's had a great career. The missing Supercross title is an obvious one for Roczen. And I do feel like he doesn't get many more shots at this level. I'm not saying like you that it's already passed.
Oh, I'm not saying it's passed. I just have
Yeah.
questions. I'm just like,
No.
Yeah.
You literally
Yeah.
said there are 4 it can come from, and he is not
not
one
one
of the 4.
No, I believe that. Yeah.
I feel like it is a more critical year for him than ever because I do feel like the window will start to close if he doesn't get it done this time. Much like we said about Tomac last year, but Tomac got it done. So that's where the rubber meets the road. No more guess games. That's it. Thanks to our sponsors. Thanks to you for watching. Go to racerxonline.com for all the information every weekend. At least justify the fact that I'll be up at 3 in the morning typing while Matthes has already gone to sleep, and then I ask him for help, and he doesn't provide it at all. And JT leaves the race. Race ends at 11. When is JT out of the stadium?
11:02.
Okay. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be back for episode 2 with 2 of his favorites.